Khamenei-Rouhani fascist dictatorship is under pressure from all sides to be overthrown. Despite the corona pandemic, social protests are becoming more widespread. International pressure has intensified despite the appeasement policy, especially after a diplomat-terrorist of the Iranian regime was convicted by a Belgian court in Antwerp and sentenced to 20 years in prison for the planning of a bomb attack on the Mojahedin's annual meeting in Paris. Also, the nuclear project of this regime has failed. As the only way out of these crises, Khamenei and Rouhani used the corona pandemic to weaken and kill the Iranians. The purpose behind this policy is to prevent the uprisings. After the November 2019 and January 2020 uprisings, with 1,500 shot dead on the streets, and after the intentional downing of the Ukrainian airplane by the Revolutionary Guard's missiles, which killed 176 innocent passengers, other major uprisings took place throughout 2020. These are not the only crimes of the mullahs for the survival of their regime. 8 years of war with Iraq, with 1 million killed and wounded, 120,000 executions of the Mojahedin and other freedom fighters, the massacre of 30,000 political prisoners within a few weeks, the persecution and murder of priests and converts to Christianity in the Baha'i faith, the suppression of religious and ethnic minorities like the Kurds, Arabs, Baluchis, Turkmen, the assassinations of the regime's opponents outside of Iran, and the killing of the people of Iraq, Syria, Yemen, and Lebanon are just a fraction of this regime's crimes. In order to put an end to these crimes, and for a democratic, free, and prosperous Iran, this regime must be overthrown. The resistance units across Iran led the 2017 and 2019 uprisings and are now preparing for the final uprising. Demonstrations and uprisings in Iran and the activities of the resistance units need political support, encouragement, and international recognition. In addition to hundreds of rallies, small and large demonstrations around the world, freedom-loving Iranians hold large gatherings every year on Martyrs and Political Prisoners Day. Around 100,000 participants in Paris in 2018, 15,000 supporters only from Berlin in 2019, and in 2020, due to the corona pandemic, Iranians conducted an online gathering in around 32,000 connection points in more than 100 countries in the world. This was the largest political action in the world in support of the uprisings and freedom aspirations of Iranians. It was also the heaviest blow to this regime, the enemy of human rights and freedom. By your participation in this gathering, support human rights in Iran. Become the voice of the 1,500 martyrs of the November 2019 uprising. Let us be the voice of the oppressed Iranian youth, the thousands of street children, and the elderly whose homes have been destroyed by this regime. Become the voice of all Iranian peoples. We invite you to take part in this year's great demonstration in Berlin. Let us gather on Saturday, July 10th, 2021 at the Brandenburger Tor in Berlin. See you there!